Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting podcast episode of the Film Society at Sam Houston State University's Film Podcast. And yes, we are still working on the name. I am Jason Smith.
I'm Allie.
Today is a very special day. It is the week after the Black Panther worldwide premiere. And let me tell you, that's all we're going to be talking about today. This is a Black Panther episode review, some box office stats and extra stuff that we have discovered about the movie. And yeah.
So I'm just going to let Jason just take the reins because he's the only one who's seen it out of the two of us.
Twice I've seen this movie. And it was much better the second time. I think the first time I saw it, I was just, super hyped. And, I was just and then, I had time to calm down, go see it the next day, and, really take it all in. So, and then when I took it in the second time, I was like, okay, yes, this was fantastic. This was a really good, not just movie. It was a good Marvel movie, but it was also a good movie, I think, personally. And that's kind of hard to get with superhero movies. You have The Dark Knight, that was both a good movie and a good comic book movie. You have Logan, that was a very good comic book movie, and then a very good movie. You take the claws away, you still have that, humanity in it. Mm-hmm. And with Black Panther, it was just very well written, well acted, visually stunning, and just all around, I think it was very, very good altogether. Things for me that made it amazing were the characters, and everybody in this movie brought their best to the roles that they were given. You were able to feel for all the characters in this movie, whether their intentions were good, their intentions were bad, the heroes, the villains, the in-betweens. You felt for everyone in this movie. And that's kind of hard to do with a superhero movie, and Marvel movie especially, because you feel for the main characters, but then all these people on the outside that they're slaying, killing, whatever. It's more for humor in a regular Marvel movie. But this movie, you felt for the entire country of Wakanda, because they established these characters right from the get-go. And for example, there's all these different tribes, and there's a character for each tribe that leads these tribes. And right from the beginning, we're introduced to them, and we feel for them. We know what they stand for. We know their goals. We know how they feel about the other tribes, about Wakanda, and themselves. And so you really get a personal attachment to each tribe. There's no one that you don't feel for. So when it comes time for something catastrophic to happen, you're going to feel for everyone on the screen, everyone in that country. And so that's what I really enjoyed experiencing with this movie, is that you felt for everyone. Another thing that made it good was the representation of black actors and actresses was very just amazing and beautiful to see. My dad went to see it before I did. I messaged him. I was like, was this a good movie? He was like, I got so wrapped up in the fact, I got so wrapped up in the representation that I cried. And my dad is, African American. Mm-hmm. And so just to hear that and be able to experience that myself, and like I said, just hearing that was like, wow, this movie really did what it was supposed to do for old and young, because there's actually something happening right now called the Black Panther Challenge. There are people buying out theaters for kids to go take these kids to go see this movie. And it's really amazing, because I think this is something not that everyone needs to see, especially young black kids, because now they have someone to look up to. They see themselves on the screen and they're like, this they've waited, or they shouldn't have waited this long for this, and now they get to see this and they get to experience that, and I think that's something really cool, and not just for the kids but for the adults as well that have had to wait this long, and they shouldn't have had to wait this long. We shouldn't have had to wait this long, and now it's finally happening, and it's incredible and amazing to see. And then the women in this movie were phenomenal. I know there was a quote in the movie. Someone was telling T'Challa, he became king. They said, you need to surround yourself with good people that you trust. And you go through the movie, and it's all women. It's his mom, it's his sister, it's his ex-girlfriend, it's the leader of the group of female warriors. That's who he surrounds himself with the most. And these women that acted in these roles are so powerful, vulnerable, strong, and just majestic to watch. I mean, you have a spy, you have a techie, like, some say smarter than Tony Stark, and that's the sister, and then you have the mother, who's the queen, and then you have the lead warrior for this group of women, and it was just it was really amazing to see. They did a spectacular job. I think one of my favorite characters coming out of this movie was all the women, but more specifically T'Challa's sister Shuri, who's played by Letitia Wright. She did an amazing job. She was humorous, she was serious, she was smart, talented. It was amazing. I was just overwhelmed with how well the women in this movie were portrayed. Another thing that was really amazing to see was Wakanda itself. This world that has only been mentioned in certain movies. Now we finally get to see it, and it's so beautiful, and it kind of poses as two. I mean, there's the fake Wakanda, the cover up, and then when they actually, which is like just this poor farmland, and then when they actually go into it, then we see the city itself, the country itself, which is just high tech, just flying this, that, and it was really cool to see there. And then even underground, they have all of the vibranium that's being mined and stuff, and it was just really cool to see this world that's on Earth. It's not outer space, it's not in some alternate dimension, it's on Earth in Africa. Just this beautiful world that we get to see, and it's beautiful. It's amazing. Another thing is the realness of the stories that are happening in this, dealing with family, father-son relationships. It was really real, and this movie is grounded. It's down to earth. There's no super end of the world alien destruction it's just, these are people in this country not really dealing with the outside world. Just a little bit in some things, but it's just about mainly Wakanda. And it was really awesome to see something so small but have a big impact on this small group of people. And it had nothing to do with aliens or anything. It was just them. And another thing was that, because I forgot as I'm watching this movie that it's a Marvel movie, and I don't know if it was the representation, the story, it may have been a combination of a lot of things, but I didn't feel like I was watching a Marvel movie. It felt like something different, almost indie, I'll even say that. and of course, it was a superhero movie, but it wasn't so Marvel heavy. I mean, the only thing really Marvel about it, I believe, was like the vibranium. Really, other than that, of course, they're all Marvel characters. You know, yes, it's a Marvel movie, but it doesn't feel like your conventional Marvel movie, and that's what I really, 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 really enjoyed about it. It kind of felt like a Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Daredevil. It was kind of off to the side, its own thing, and like it takes place after Civil War, Captain America Civil War. So, I mean, Black Panther's kind of off doing its own thing at this time. There's nothing really, what's the word I'm looking for? There's nothing coming after them. There's nothing huge, outer space, blah 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 coming. It's just this little extension over here of Wakanda, and it's just their own world, and it's happening over here while all this is going on. I mean, it's just Wakanda, and that was really cool to see, really cool to experience. Amazing script. I think, honestly, should be considered for an Academy Award next year, but we'll come to that maybe in a year. But the script was really good because, like I said, it brought these characters to life. It brought real issues into this movie, and then mixing them with the superhero genre. There's real things happening in this movie that I'm not going to spoil. That, I mean, we're dealing with today, and so it was really interesting to see it from a more the superhero approach, and seeing how they handle it, and thinking about how should we handle it, out here in the real world. And another thing that was amazing was the costuming. It was just so colorful, vibrant, and beautiful. Like, it was breathtaking all around to see how the different tribes and how they incorporated actual African garb and then mixed it with this tech, this fictional, and just brought it together and just made it just stunning, beautiful, brilliant, vibrant colors. But so that's all the good stuff. Now I'm gonna go to the stuff. Not that it was bad. Nothing was bad. Nothing about this movie was bad. But there was some stuff that was kind of like, The plot for me, I wasn't too engaged in the plot of actually what was happening. I was more, and I feel, I was not only more invested, but I feel the movie itself was more character-based than plot-based, if that makes sense. It was more character-heavy about these characters, even the characters with like just small arcs. Every character in this movie had an arc of some sort. And like I said, you felt for everyone. So I feel this movie wasn't so plot heavy as it was character heavy, because I feel like with the next few movies coming out Marvel wise, we need a feel for these characters because we may see them again, some of them, and I think this one was more character based than plot based, because really, I mean, other than vibranium, there's nothing really marvelly happening in this movie. And so it was really interesting to see just something more character based instead of plot based. I mean, you get character stuff in the other movies, but it's more driven by plot, whereas this is more just characters. We get to, and that's another thing, we don't get too much of T'Challa Black Panther. We get more of everyone else kind of surrounding it. We do get T'Challa and Black Panther, and don't get me wrong, but it feels more everyone else, and so that was just an interesting way to go with it. Because I mean, we know Black Panther, but we don't know everything around it. So I think this one was more character world heavy than plot, and it was interesting how they went with that, because you go to the movie, you think, oh, the plot, but This one was more character based. But it was a good thing, I think, because we need a break from, oh, it's the end of the world, we save it. Oh, it's the end of the world again, we save it again, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really good to see just something kind of chill out. Let's watch some characters and see how they develop throughout this thing. It was all around a very good movie, a good Marvel movie, and something I'm looking forward to very much, and seeing where this character and Wakanda goes. Wakanda forever. But yeah, that's my review of this movie.
And you gave it a rating of exactly...
I did give it a rating. The first night I saw it, I automatically said 11 out of 10. And then I'm like, a 10 out of 10. It's every now and then, it's a 9 and a 10. It's a 9 and a 10. So today, it's a 10 out of 10. Amazing. It was incredible. Definitely go see it. Black Panther, it is out now in theaters. Please watch it. No matter who you are or where you are. If you can watch it, go watch it. It's amazing. You'll enjoy yourself.
Okay, so since it's the Black Panther, like, extensive episode of the podcast, we're talking about box office predictions. So we were way off.
Way off.
Way off.
Like,
but in a good way.
In a good way?
In a good way.
Okay,
See,
that's good.
I said it was going to make 195 million.
Mm-hmm.
You went over 195 million.
I said 200.
You had said 200. In reality, it made it made, where's the number? For the total of the 4-day weekend, it made 235 million.
Here in America.
Here
the
in
USA.
America.
Oh, man, that's awesome.
And it actually, worldwide, at the time when I found this report, it made 462.3 million.
Wow.
Right behind The Force Awakens opening.
Wow.
And that was crazy. Like, that just, like, to me, it was just, like, that. Like, it was good. It actually made 192 million just in the 3-day weekend. But if you count the 4-day weekend, which was President's Day weekend.
And that's what we counted, right?
And that's what we counted.
Yeah.
So, either way, it was good to see that this is the 5th biggest box office for a Marvel movie.
Yep.
And that's incredible for what it's going to do, for what it has done for all kinds of people. And then just, it feels like, I don't know, like this one could just keep going. Like, I want it to keep going.
Oh, yeah. I want to see how much this makes at the end of its run. I'm excited to see how much that makes.
I actually want to see how long theaters keep this.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know what else is big that comes out soon.
Yeah, me either. I don't know anything till May.
Till I'm thinking March. The next one with Ava DuVernay's A Wrinkle in Time is probably the closest one that I'm like foresee. But this might be in theaters for a good month and a half.
I see that happening too.
Which is good because it will definitely make its money and then some. And then, you know. Definitely. I mean, hopefully. I don't want to say that they kind of fast track, like, because we don't know the Marvel phase after this. We're not in the know of that yet. So maybe they will make a sequel, most likely. But, like, hopefully they don't fast track it so fast that they're like, this made a lot of money. Let's go make it, like, right after. Let's not go out and do that. But hopefully it does do its job and finally get some... I do agree with you. I feel like it should win, like, it should get an Academy Award nomination.
Oh, I have my list is costuming, script, maybe even a few characters, in specific, Killmonger, Michael B. Jordan's character. Yeah, definitely. I see some album or song, one of them, original song. And then, I'm rooting for this movie all the way for some Academy Awards.
But we never know what big old-time directors are going to come out with for the Oscar season. So
yeah, November.
We still got, like, a long ways away, so. Well, I found this story on Saturday about Rotten Tomatoes having Black Panther as number 1 on its list for its top 100 movies of all time.
Wow.
Black Panther has currently destroyed box office records, like we just said. And that's the question: is it the fans because they're very devoted to this movie? What is the algorithm that they have used? Because so I found this thing on Saturday, and then when I went back today and yesterday, it was no longer on the top, and that was weird because I'm gonna try to find it. Because so when I found the report, it came up with Black Panther, and it gave me the top 5 because that's all I found. 97% Black Panther, and then it also has something with number of reviews. Black Panther currently has 307 reviews, followed by The Wizard of Oz, which is at 99%, more than Black Panther at 110 reviews, and Citizen Kane, who has 100%, but only has 76 reviews. And it goes so on and so on. So, how did they distinguish that, hey, this is going to be number 1 of the top 100 movies of all time?
Yeah.
And and why did they take it down? That's my question. Do you think that it might have been just because, they may have jumped the gun too fast? Because it was only after a Saturday viewing.
Yeah, because I don't know. That is interesting.
Because whenever you click on the website, whenever you click on Rotten Tomatoes, if you actually Google it and you look Rotten Tomatoes top 100 movies of all time, the list comes up, and at first when it comes up, it says Black Panther, but then it finishes loading, and then it says, just kidding, Wizard of Oz. So I'm just why?
Interesting.
What are you doing?
Why do this? That is interesting.
I mean, I don't know. Do you think it's too soon to already call it number 1 movie, top movie, best of all time?
Oh, yeah, that's very soon. Very soon. Don't get me wrong, I love this movie, but it's soon right now. It's a little soon to call on that as the best of all time. So I think give it some time. See what else there is.
How long do you think it is? Do you think it'll be you think in a year from now, will it still hold up that long? Or 10, 20 years from now, will it by then will it make it into people's top 100 movies of the year? Or
possibly.
Top 20 or 25?
I could see it happening, definitely, but just let it wait for a bit and see how it plays out. But I could definitely see it happening.
Because I don't know where, but I read it somewhere that that when Wonder Woman came out, people were already making their list of top 50 superhero movies of all time, and Wonder Woman made it to the top I want to say 5.
Ooh,
or 10 or somewhere around there.
No, I wouldn't say that.
And they were and a lot of people in the comic section were just why is it this number? Or why isn't it higher? Or why isn't it lower? Why is it even here? Because it just came out.
Yeah.
So I kind of see the thing, the problem.
Yeah.
Maybe we're jumping the gun a little too quickly.
Yeah, definitely. Who knows?
Who knows? Maybe we will see it, crack somewhere, some person's list.
At some point, yeah.
At some point, but lists are not final. They're not what we dictate.
Right.
So it's all personal preference. So other than that, I think that's it.
That's it.
For our Black Panther, unless you have something you want to add.
Oh, no, I don't have anything. I don't have anything else. Like I said, go see it. It's out right now. And just enjoy it. This has been a long time coming. This movie has been in what they call production. I don't know if it was in production hell, but the idea was created around 92 or 94 by Wesley Snipes, and it's been all that time since then. So it's been a long time coming, and it doesn't matter what background you're from. I definitely recommend going to see it. It's for everyone. But yeah.
Yep.
Black Panther, Wakanda forever. And that is all, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for listening and hope to see you next week.